What causes my existence? This fundamental question has puzzled philosophers for centuries. We experience the world around us and ourselves within it. Yet the very fact that we exist at all demands an explanation. From where did we come? What brought us into being? These questions drive us to seek a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. To unravel this mystery, we must embark on a journey of reasoned inquiry. By carefully examining the nature of our existence, we can trace back to its ultimate source. This journey will lead us to confront profound truths about ourselves and the nature of reality itself. Through careful observation and logical deduction, we can arrive at a satisfying answer to the age-old question of our existence. Imagine for a moment that you stumble upon a magnificent clock, its intricate gears and springs working in perfect harmony. You wouldn't for a moment assume that this intricate device simply sprang into existence from nothing. Such complexity demands a skilled clockmaker, someone who meticulously designed and assembled each component. Similarly, our own existence, even more intricate and wondrous than any clock, points towards a cause greater than ourselves. This line of reasoning leads us to a profound realization: something cannot come from nothing. Every effect must have a cause. And this principle applies not only to the physical world, but also to the realm of existence itself. Just as the clock requires a clockmaker, our existence necessitates a cause capable of bringing us into being. This cause, as we shall see, is none other than God. The principle of causation underpins our understanding of the universe. It states that every event or thing that comes into existence must have a cause. This principle is not merely an abstract philosophical notion, it is a fundamental law of nature that we observe and rely upon every day. Consider the simple act of striking a match. The flame that erupts does not appear spontaneously. It is caused by the friction between the match head and the striking surface. Similarly, the growth of a tree can be traced back to a seed, sunlight, water, and nutrients. In every case, we find that effects have causes, and this chain of causation extends throughout the natural world. This principle of causation is not limited to the physical realm. It also applies to our thoughts, ideas, and even our very existence. Just as a physical object cannot come into being without a cause, so too our minds and our consciousness must have an origin. To assume otherwise would be to abandon the principle of causation that underpins our understanding of reality. If we accept the principle of causation as a fundamental truth, then we must apply it consistently to all aspects of our experience, including our own existence. We cannot arbitrarily exempt ourselves from this universal law. To do so would be to contradict the very foundation of our reasoning. Therefore, we are compelled to ask, what is the cause of our existence? Having established the principle of causation as a universal law, we must now turn our attention inward and apply it to the mystery of our own existence. Just like the clock or the flame, our being demands an explanation. We cannot simply assume that we appeared from nothing, for this would violate the very principle we have established. To understand the cause of our existence, we must first examine the nature of our being. We are not simply material objects, but thinking, feeling, and willing beings. We possess consciousness, self-awareness, and the ability to reason and make choices. These attributes, unique to our human experience, set us apart from the inanimate objects of the physical world. Given the complexity and richness of our being, the cause of our existence must be proportionally grand. A simple rearrangement of matter cannot account for the intricacies of our minds and the depth of our consciousness. Something more profound, something possessing immense power and intelligence must be responsible for our creation. This leads us to consider the possibility of an external cause, something outside of ourselves that possesses the necessary attributes to bring us into being. We can conceive of this cause as a force, an intelligence, or a being that transcends the limitations of our own existence. This being, as we will see, is what we call God. Could we, perhaps, be the cause of our own existence? Could we have somehow brought ourselves into being? This notion, while tempting in its simplicity, ultimately proves untenable upon closer examination. To create oneself, one would need to exist prior to one's existence, a logical contradiction that renders this possibility absurd. Imagine a painter attempting to paint themselves into existence. To do so, they would need to already exist as the painter holding the brush, dipping it into the paint and applying it to the canvas. The very act of painting presupposes their prior existence. Similarly, to create ourselves, we would need to possess the powers of creation before we even came to be. Furthermore, self-creation fails to account for the source of our consciousness, our thoughts, and our very being. If we created ourselves, wouldn't we possess perfect knowledge of our own design? Wouldn't we be able to alter our thoughts, feelings, and even our very existence at will? The limitations of our knowledge and the constraints of our existence point towards a cause that lies outside of ourselves. The impossibility of self-creation becomes evident when we consider the nature of cause and effect. Every effect must have a cause that precedes it. To be the cause of one's own existence would require existing before existing, a logical paradox that cannot be reconciled. Therefore, we must look beyond ourselves for the ultimate source of our being.